Hey guys, this is Hannah with White Oak Camper Rentals. We've been getting a lot of questions about dry camping recently, so we thought we'd take a moment to just kind of sit down and go over the ins and outs and do's and don'ts with you. So first of all, we'll start off with what is dry camping. So think of dry camping as you're taking a camper out to the middle of a field. You're not going to have electric hookups, you're not going to have water hookups, most certainly not going to have sewer hookups. So what do you do? What do you do to power the camper, to have AC, things like that? So overall with dry camping, you have two huge limitations. Those would be your power supply and your water supply. A lot of the times if you've rented from us, you've been down to West Point or a state park and you know what it's like to not have sewer hookups. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. With enough water, you'll be fine. Dry camping is a totally different ballgame. As far as power goes, our campers are not equipped to run just off the battery, so you will need a generator. Our generators that we personally have that we rent out here are our 3,500 watt Predator generators. They're the super quiet generators. They run one air conditioner, your lights, your fridge, microwave, and any of our 30 amp campers, they're gonna run the whole thing. And any of our larger campers, like our fifth wheels, anything with two air conditioners, our larger travel trailers, like our Sunset Trail, you're not gonna be able to run both ACs at the same time. But other than that, your camper should totally be able to function normal. Those generators, when you rent from us, will give you all the adapters that you need to get it plugged up. We'll demonstrate how to start them for you. They are very quiet. You're able to have a conversation over them. They're super great, pretty much recommended and preferred at all campgrounds. As far as not having a generator, that's not really gonna be a feasible option with the way that our batteries are set up. We do have one camper that is solar prepped. However, that only runs the fridge, the TV, the outlets, the lights. It is not going to run the AC or the microwave. That would be our 2022 Ibex if you do wanna check that one out. It is pretty cool, it's super roomy, but still with the solar package, it is not going to run the AC. That's really not something that campers in general are made to do off of solar. So other than that, power-wise, you just have to have your generator, you have to make sure it starts. Overall, there is a strong possibility that if you bring your personal generator, it's not going to correctly run the camper. Not to say that we don't recommend you bring your own generator, because if you have it, definitely use it. But overall, it's kind of a risk that you take when dry camping, and there are several of those that we're gonna go over. But number one being the bringing your own generator or trying to rough it with no generator at all. Water-wise, you do have 3 tanks on a camper. If you've ever rented with us before, you know this. If you've ever been in a camper before, you're gonna know this. You have your gray water tank, which is gonna be your shower and your sink. Your black water tank, which is gonna be your toilet, and your fresh water tank, which is really important when dry camping. That's going to be your water reserve. That's the water you have to wash dishes, to flush the toilet, to take a shower. And with these freshwater tanks, you only have so much of it. It's very common in our travel trailers to only have about 40 gallons. That sounds like a lot, but it's really not when you think about dry camping for several nights. Some places where you dry camp, you may have people come by and fill those freshwater tanks, but for the most part, if you're in that scenario like we talked about, you're out in a field, something like that, you're not going to have that option. You're really going to have to ration that water. That's another unfortunate part of dry camping. We do have water pumps in all the campers. Every camper we have is equipped with a freshwater tank. If you've ever camped with us before and you stayed at a campground, you haven't had to use this. This is probably the tank that you're least aware about when camping overall. You just don't need it. When you're hooked up to city water, your hose has pressure, you've got no issues. But freshwater tanks are a big deal when you're talking about dry camping. That is something that you really need to consider. If you're gonna be gone for an extended amount of time, you can always call up the office and we can give you some recommendations on campers that do have bigger freshwater tanks that can more likely suit the situation you're trying to be in. There are, like we talked about, there are definitely things that can go wrong. We do have campers that have onboard generators. However, you are only allotted so many hours. That would be 5 hours per night during your trip. You can definitely run up some overages by, running that onboard generator the whole time. That's definitely something that can go wrong, but we can definitely discuss that with you. Just call us if you have any specific questions about your situation. Other things that can go wrong, you can run out of water. That's just very unfortunate and definitely makes for not a super fun trip overall. But we're happy to help and happy to help you with dry camping and plan your dry camping trip. There's just certain things that you do have to be aware of overall. Personally, we do not recommend dry camping up here at the office, but that's because, you rent the camper for the convenience and you want all the conveniences. You want a shower you can use and not have to worry about it, an AC you can use and not have to worry about it not turning on. So those would be the biggest reasons that we don't recommend it overall. But we do understand that there are situations where you have to dry camp and there's no other option. So if so, that's what Dry Camping 101 is for you. Just let us know if you have any questions and we'll definitely be around to help. Just let us know that you are dry camping so we can tailor our orientation to kind of fit your needs, and we can definitely keep you super transparent on what to expect moving forward. So thanks so much for checking out White Oak Camper Rentals. We'll see you in the future. Thanks.